Now at 6, a deadly new spike in coronavirus infections in the tri-state. But there is hope. The new sign that things could be slowing down. Plus,
the social distancing must continue. We have no choice.
Keeping your distance. The drastic new measures now in place to keep people apart and out of parks.
And the selfless act from one former COVID patient on Long Island that could help save the lives of countless others. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Natalie Pascarella.
And I'm Chuck Scarborough. Both New York and New Jersey have hit new highs for deaths in a single day. In 24 hours across both states, 963 people have died. More than 11,000 more have tested positive for the virus. The two states combined are now home to 57% of all pandemic deaths in the United States and half of all the nation's COVID-19 cases. Well, today the order went out to close all state and county parks in New Jersey to enforce social distancing. And the public health emergency in the Garden State extended another month. But there is a glimmer of hopeful news tonight. The infection rate appears to be slowing, hospitalizations dropping, and there is tentative talk about reopening some businesses. Still, across the tri-state, the number of confirmed cases is approaching 200,000 now. The number of deaths just 2 people shy of 7,000. News Source Andrew Siff kicks off our team coverage live on the Upper East Side with the very latest for us. Andrew.
Chuck, here at Mount Sinai, they have developed a test for immunity to the coronavirus, and it's similar to a test that they now have at the state lab at Wadsworth up in Albany. Governor Cuomo says that test is mission critical for getting New York on the road to recovery. The deadliest single day of the pandemic in New York also arrived with promising news. The curve is flattening.
I know it's tough to get up every day, and this is like Groundhog Day, living through this bizarre reality that we're in.
And Governor Cuomo said it's now time to make a plan for reopening some businesses. The key may be inside this state lab in Albany, where they've given the green light to a test to prove you're immune to coronavirus.
It's going to come down to testing. You're going to have to know who had the virus, who resolved the virus.
It's mission critical for transit workers. 33 lives lost so far, including those who work on subways and buses. The transit president telling me by FaceTime there's no way to expand service to thin out crowds.
We have thousands and thousands of people at the MTA who are out sick and who are out on quarantine, thousands. And so we have many fewer crews than we would normally have on a regular day.
Until more people can prove they're immune, key obstacles remain, like keeping millions of people fed, a challenge with long lines at stores. The mayor today on the Lower East Side thanking school volunteers for providing grab-and-go lunches, but also urging New Yorkers to get more aggressive about social distancing. On Monday, Chopper 4 saw a large group using workout gear here in the Bronx. Today, the city had covered up the equipment.
Anyone who sees crowding or people are not socially distancing, call 311 right away, and we will send enforcement agents immediately.
As for the hospitals, the crisis continues taking its toll. Dr. Sean Faroux now has the virus, but still hasn't been able to get a test.
Having to beg to get tested, I felt just defeated.
As for the situation with ventilators, Mayor de Blasio had originally predicted they might run out by Sunday or Monday. The mayor today said the supply is now okay because of the flattening of the curve, at least for now. We're live on the Upper East Side. Andrew Siff, News 4 New York.
All right, all good for now. Andrew, thank you for that update. New Jersey also saw the highest single-day increase in this outbreak. Cases jumped more than 3,300. Deaths jumped 232 to a total of 1,232. However, the infection rate is slowing thanks to social distancing. News 4's Brian Thompson joins us from Liberty State Park with the latest on those park closures. And also, Brian understands some breaking news as well.
Absolutely, and good news is followed by bad news is followed by good news these days. With those 232 fatalities you just talked about, enforcement, of course, is becoming critical, but it's having a hard time catching up to perhaps the worst news yet across the tri-state. Chopper 4 right now is over the Elizabeth Nursing and Rehabilitation Center on Grove Street in that city. Elizabeth Mayor Chris Bulwidge telling me 22 deaths have been recorded there in the past 2.5 weeks. 10 are confirmed coronavirus positive. The other 12, well, test results are pending, or the mayor tells me just minutes ago we may never know because those people were not tested at all. The city is learning about all of this now, not from the nursing home itself, but from Trinitas Hospital in Elizabeth, which reached out to the mayor to ask him, quote, what's going on with this nursing home? Well, the mayor didn't know. And so he started looking into it. His health department did, and he now tells me that the nursing home at this point is not responding to him, although the director of nursing and the head physician there, or one of the physicians there anyway, have both come down with the virus and have been hospitalized. It's to avoid these mass die-offs like this, quite frankly, that enforcement has now expanded to state and county parks, including as of 8 o'clock tonight, here at Liberty State Park in Jersey City. Mass confusion today at Liberty State Park as it closed, reopened, and now is about to close again. State officials giving conflicting signals. Jersey City Mayor Steve Fulop telling me.
Residents indicated to us that the state police was there this morning, park police actually, telling people the park was closed. I mean, we've spoken to the commissioner today, and she said that they're closing parks this evening. It's the right decision ultimately.
But not everyone who is here today on what now will be marked as their last day indefinitely agrees.
If we're not walking in the park, then we're walking in the neighborhood. It's not really going to stop. If people want to get out, if they're at the park now, they're going to get out regardless. They're going to walk around their neighborhood.
Are you?
Yeah.
Stoke State Forest in Sussex County already closed by this afternoon. Bergen County's large Overpeck Park among the many county parks statewide, all of them actually affected by the order. Jersey City and Hoboken have already closed their city parks, but their waterfront promenades overlooking Manhattan for now are still open as long as social distancing is kept. But for every local park closure, Governor Murphy says state parks like Liberty will see more and more pressure.
If a local municipality closes its park or County X closes their parks, which they have a right to do on their own before today, in our case, as of today, they're all closed, then you put undue pressure on the state park that was nearby that was left open.
Another crackdown. The Post Time Pub in Blairstown caught twice with people drinking inside. Now its liquor license in jeopardy.
The Attorney General Graywall, and Director Graziano from the Division of Alcoholic Beverage Control are seeking to revoke the liquor license of that establishment.
And another first in this war, Hoboken now requiring face coverings in all essential businesses, such as supermarkets, for both employees and customers. Outside the Uptown King supermarket, Mayor Ravi Bala joining in a mass giveaway to people entering to buy groceries. But for moms like Carolyn Peritzman and her 22-month-old daughter, Kaylin, it's quite a struggle.
Get this to stay on her is going to be probably impossible. You know, any child this age, I think, would have the same reaction.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it is concerning.
Now back to that tragedy unfolding in Elizabeth. 12 residents there have also tested positive for coronavirus. They're still there. And now we're being told by the state health commissioner that patients in nursing homes across the state may have to be moved from some facilities to others because of this rapidly growing problem of long-term care and coronavirus. Live in Jersey City, Brian Thompson, News 4 New York.
Yeah, very, very difficult situation, Brian. Thank you very much. The number of coronavirus cases does continue to grow daily in Connecticut as well. Just over an hour ago, Governor Lamont gave an update. He says Connecticut has 875 new cases and 71 more deaths over the last 24 hours, the state's deadliest single day of this pandemic. But Governor Lamont also says the number of people being hospitalized appears now to be flattening. The governor is urging residents to keep staying inside and to practice social distancing if they have to leave their homes.
Well, in New York, the need for valuable personal protective equipment, or PPE, is reaching critical levels. Nurses say there still isn't enough to keep them or their patients safe. I want to go to News 4's Mark Santia in Yonkers, where nurses are frustrated and simply fed up.
We want PPE! When do we want it? Now!
Nurse Karen Costa says it is not just a want, it is a need.
To keep myself, my patients, and my family safe. I was assured that we would be protected. Unfortunately, this is no longer the case.
At St. Joseph's Medical Center in Yonkers, Costa says she has to reuse her personal protective equipment a lot during this coronavirus crisis.
We have to assume everybody is positive and you're becoming contaminated with everybody that's there. We are reusing our N95s for days and sometimes weeks at a time.
All the nurses protesting today say the same thing. They do not have enough masks, gowns, face shields to dispose of used ones as often as they should.
We raised our voice inside the hospitals. Now we are here, out in the streets, begging for supplies, demanding help for the patient's safety and our safety.
Yonkers has the most confirmed cases in Westchester County. We need your help, and we need it now.
Indeed, the latest figures show that of the more than 14,000 cases of COVID-19 in Westchester, more than 1,300 are here in Yonkers.
The nurses still do their job. We go in, we know we're not fully protected, but we go in to take care of our patients.
St. Joseph's Medical Center and a spokesperson told us they had begun ordering PPEs long before the coronavirus crisis hit and say they are diligent about maintaining PPE levels and continue to receive shipments daily. They say they consider their frontline staff to be performing, quote, heroically, and they will work with their vendors to continue to get PPEs. In Yonkers, I'm Mark Santia, News 4 New York.